Hello, this is Paresh Srivastav from Weavin, and today I'm going to give you certain tips about English speaking. Every one of us wants to speak English fluently and confidently, but then the problem is that for most of us, the English is our second language. As a result, people don't get environment and they are confused about how to practice so that they can be fluent. So I'll be telling you certain tips on how to speak fluently and confidently. Tip number one is focus on fundamentals, which means that you have to work on your grammar, which includes tenses, prepositions, indirect, direct speech, articles, modals, and active passive voice mainly. If you are able to focus on these concepts which I have just told, high chances are there that you'll be able to do it well. Tip number two is practice in steps. We are not so well versed in speaking English in the beginning. As a result, we get discouraged in the beginning if we try to speak to everyone and every sentence in English. What does it mean? It means that instead of talking to everyone and every sentence in English, you rather do it step by step. It means you identify your near and dear ones who can understand that you are learning English, and you tell them that you want to practice speaking with them. And besides this, whenever you speak, try to speak one or two sentences of English with your native language so that they get mixed up with your native language, and then try to increase the number of those English sentences in your speaking gradually. So for example, in first week 1 to 2 sentences every 10 sentences of your whatever you're speaking, and then next week maybe 4 to 5 or even 3 to 4 depending upon your capacity. So make a plan that every week you are going to speak these many sentences of English whenever you speak. So that will also help you to see whether you are progressing well or not, and you will be able to do it in steps. Tip number 3 is to make your environment. A lot of us actually are willing to have environment where they can speak with others, but only some of us get that kind of environment. For most of us, the friends, the family members are not willing to speak in English. Then in this situation, what to do? In this case, if you don't find your family members, your friends willing to speak to you in English, then you can create your own environment by, let's say, doing the role play at home, where you play the different roles one by one. For example, you can imagine that you are in a mall, and then you can keep two chairs in front of you, and you can play two roles, one as buyer, one as seller. So when you want to speak from the seller side, then you sit on that seller's chair and you talk as a seller, and then you sit on buyer's chair and you talk as a buyer. So it will help you to develop confidence and also to develop an environment at your home, even if nobody is there to support you. Now, what else we can do? Well, in fact, there are many other ways of practicing. Tip number 4 for practicing is to write articles and write diary. So while article writing will help you generate those ideas on a particular subject, and also it will give you enough time to think about grammar and the appropriate words which you generally cannot recall while speaking. So that is why article writing is very important, because it gives you an opportunity to focus on grammar as well as words. Writing diary can help you in one more way, that it can organize you for the future. It can help you to understand what you did whole day and what you are going to plan for next day. So that way it can make you more organized also, and at the same time you will find the benefits of writing in English. Tip number 5 is record your voice. Most of the time it happens that we are having some kind of mother tongue influence. Besides this, we are not so clear in our speaking, our language, our tone is not that much clear. So to improve that, we must first listen to our voice. So nowadays we have many devices to record, and cell phone is one of the easily available devices to record your voice. So you can record your voice on mobile phone and then again play it and listen to your voice and try to find out the mistakes which you are doing. Try to see why your voice is not clear and where you need to work on your voice. And also whether you are able to emphasize certain things or not, variation in tone. You can observe, you can analyze all these things only when you record your voice and listen to it. Tip number 6 is speak in front of mirror. What it means is that you think about any topic and you start speaking on that topic in front of mirror. Now how it is going to benefit you? When you speak in front of mirror, you come to know about how are your facial expressions, how are your hand gestures, body movements, postures, and so everything you come to know while you speak in front of mirror. So to speak in front of mirror, you first need to find out a particular topic and then start speaking on it. Observe your gestures, body language, and try to improve it and try to see, if there is some problem in your gestures and body posture and movement, and improve it. And besides this, it will also give you a lot of confidence. You can also paste a picture of crowd standing in front of you, and you can imagine that you are addressing this big crowd, and after once you start delivering lecture, you try to record it also. You can do the video recording and see how you are standing and addressing. Tip number 7 is about reading and listening. So if you want to speak well, you should have good knowledge about different subjects, especially about current affairs. So that's why you must continue to watch news. That will enhance your listening skills, while reading newspaper will enhance your reading skills, and you will learn many new words also. Besides this, watching movies with English titles can also help you. But again, whether you start reading newspaper, whether you start reading some motivational or story books, please start with the simple one, so that you don't lose your enthusiasm. If you encounter so many difficult words, there are chances that you may lose your enthusiasm. So again, be cautious. Start with newspaper supplement and gradually go on to the difficult news. Tip number 8, which is the most important tip, and it is to think in English. Whenever you think in English, then it is really very easy to say the same idea in English. But if you think in some other language, then obviously you'll have to translate that idea into English, and then only you can speak. So that is why it is very important that you focus on thinking in English only. And for that, you don't have to do anything. Whenever you are sitting idle, whenever you are thinking about any subject, just be conscious that you are thinking in English only. And that doesn't require any notebook, any textbook, any pen, and of course, no extra time is needed for that, because you are just doing the same thinking but only in English. Alright, so let me repeat all the tips which I have said in short. Number 1 is to focus on fundamentals. Number 2 is to practice in the steps. Number 3 is to make your environment. Number 4 is to write articles, write diary. Number 5 is to record your voice and listen to it. Number 6 is to speak in front of mirror. Number 7, watch news, read newspaper, watch movies with English titles. Start with simple one. Number 8 is to think in English. So, if you follow all these tips, I'm sure that you will be able to learn English very soon, very confidently, and very fluently. Wishing you all the best. This is Paresh Srivastav from Vivid. Thank you very much.